Hello everyone, MFPallytime here. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be talking about some new information for Sea of Thieves. Now, a lot of you know that I loved the beta for this game, and even though it was just a very small look at what the game potentially had to offer, it completely hooked me in and I didn't want to leave. I've actually been going through withdrawals since the beta's gone away. This is really the first big batch of information we've gotten since that beta test, and it's been almost a month since then, maybe 3 weeks since then, so this is very welcome news. There were 4 or 5 different articles that were released, kind of focusing on different aspects of the game, so I'm going to break those down into separate videos as well. Today we're going to be talking about content release plans once the game goes live, and microtransactions. Now, of course, microtransactions are something that people feel very passionate about, so getting this information out early, letting people know what to expect, is probably a pretty good idea. Now, again, originally I was going to put all of the information from all of these articles into this one video, but I wanted to break it down a little bit more so I could hear back from you guys, so please be sure to share your thoughts on what you're about to hear down in the comments below. Also, the article that we're citing is going to be linked in the video description if you would like to read a little bit more. There won't be that much more, or if you just wanted to follow along at home. Also, I don't have any more gameplay to show you from my time in the beta, so enjoy the serenity of sailing towards the edge of the map. I don't actually reach that at any point, but hey, I was going that direction. That's some engaging gameplay. And without any further ado, Rare was asked what their plans were to monetize the game after its release. They spoke briefly in the article about their approach towards the Microsoft Game Pass, saying that they're trying to draw as many people into the game as possible, get as many eyeballs on the game as possible, and like I said, you can read more about that in the article. To me, that wasn't really a big focus, so I'm not going to dwell on that. What I really took away from this is that they are going to try to push out a giant patch to the game about 3 months after the game's release. And honestly, their thoughts on this patch and their mentality going forward is super encouraging to me. I have a direct quote from the article here. They said, "I look at updates through 2 lenses. One is for the most engaged players. What stuff can we deliver to those guys? That gives you new goals, new things to achieve for the most engaged. And then the people who are kind of in the middle bucket, who are just having fun and progressing at their own pace, will need to add new quest types, new things to do across the board that creates emergent gameplay. Fishing, for example, is a great thing that would fit into this game if we do it. You could bring in a new trading company that could give you new goals to achieve. You could go and get some rare exclusive things too. That would be the kind of thing that benefits everyone, and I want to bring in updates that service both kinds of players." So first of all, fishing is a big thing that people were asking for during our time in the beta. I saw it pop up on Reddit multiple times. It was in my list of features I wanted added to the game, even though I never made that video. We tried to. It turned out real shit. Everyone was talking over each other. Maybe I'll still release that video at some point or re-record it in a different manner. But fishing opens up the door to a lot of new stuff. First of all, it's not conflict-based in any way. So if you're just looking to chill for a while and sip a beer in real life while you're drinking grog in-game and throwing out that fishing line, then you can definitely do that. Also, their willingness to add in new trade companies is something that I'm already so optimistic about. They're talking about it already. Now, in the beta, we only had the gold hoarders, which meant our gameplay was limited to going onto an island, either reading a map to figure out where the treasure is, or solving a riddle on that island to figure out where the treasure is, putting that back into our ship, and trying to make it back to an island to turn that in. And while it was a good first look at what the game may offer, it was a very limited scope of what we could potentially expect. Now, we are going to have the trading company, which is going out and gathering supplies and bringing that back as well. And we're also going to have the Order of Souls, go kill a spooky pirate, gather its skull, and bring that back. So we already had a decent idea of what to expect on release, but the fact that they're already talking about new trade companies is awesome. And I'm glad they're trying to vary up gameplay even more. Now, the same patch we were just talking about that's going to be planned for 3 months after release is also going to be when microtransactions will be introduced to the game. They said that these microtransactions will not be boosting power of the player in-game, and people will know exactly what they are buying. Now, with the negative press towards loot crates in the industry and the possibility of actually several countries or states banning or further restricting the age access to loot box games, this move isn't that much of a surprise, to be honest with you. They said they want real money transactions to be more of an emotional value than a functional value. And they stated that pets will be the first feature that players will be allowed to spend real money on. So not skins, not different armor, that is going to be pursued within the game itself, but pets. So far, the only examples we have are monkeys and cats, which I actually wasn't expecting cats. On our list of stuff we wanted to see in the game, vanity pets was at the top of the list. This is something that my girlfriend Holly was campaigning for quite a bit. We were expecting monkeys, we were expecting iguanas and, parrots, but it seems like they're going out of the realm just a little bit more. I guess having cats on your boat to eat mice does make sense though, so maybe we just kind of looked over that. But incentivizing this real money purchase to have an emotional value towards this creature that you have to take care on will definitely pull at the heartstrings of some players. They said that they're going to treat them in a fun way. The pet will be with you on the ship, and another player will be able to run up and pick up the pet and run off with it. Because they're physical objects, just like the missions in the game, just like the voyages, the chests, the pet is going to be a living, breathing thing inside of the world. Now that being said, you're supposed to be emotionally attached to these animals, so if the person that runs away with your pet puts your pet down, it'll come back to you. It'll make its way back to you, don't worry. They also mentioned that they want to be able to fire pets out of cannons, which seems a little sadistic. I don't know if you're loading the cat into the front of the cannon and just letting that go, or if the pirate itself can hold onto the cat and be fired off to the island. What we saw in the beta was if you had a chest in your hands, you couldn't be loaded into the cannon. So it seems like you're gonna be firing up your pirate friend onto the island, then stuffing its animal in and shooting the pet after him, which it seems a little sadistic to me, boys. Now, this part was really important. They said that down the line, there is no intent to charge for content updates. Now, normally in an MMO, in a multiplayer game, being charged for updates is not a thing that happens. Patches roll out, but they actually said there's no season passes and no DLC packs. That stuff will be delivered for free because they do not want to separate players. And considering this world is supposed to feel open and inhabited by tons of players, then keeping them all together and keeping them all engaged in content in the same area is a very good idea. Limited time events are also planned to be added. The example that they had was an NPC showing up at the tavern on the weekend and sending you off on an adventure to get some exclusive items that you could only get during that specific event. That will be used as yet another way to hold the player's attention in between these content patches. So expect to see this within the first 3 months of the game is kind of what I got here. So that's gonna do it for me today, boys. What'd you think of the content? What'd you think of the update? There's actually a lot more to go through, and as I said, I'm gonna be releasing further videos during the week on what we learned in these press releases. Just wanted to break down the opening 3 months of the game, what we can expect, and of course those microtransactions. Let me know what you guys think of both of these things down in the comments if you want to share your thoughts. If you did enjoy today's video, please be sure to hit the thumbs up button, subscribe if you're new here, and don't forget to hit the bell to be notified of everything we do here on this channel. Sea of Thieves, I imagine, is going to be a focus of ours for the foreseeable future.